Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome to my content. Finding yourself again. And you already know what it is by now. If you don't, if you've been sleeping under a rock, man, or if this is your first time on my channel or my content, welcome to my content, Finding Yourself Again. My name's Dontre. I'm a narcissist survivor. I'm a codependency recoverer. I've dealt with trauma, codependency, mental health issues, substance abuse issues, anxiety disorder, and a couple other things. Narcissistic abuse as well, if I haven't mentioned that already. And the purpose of this content is to basically help people like that have been through those things, like myself or like yourself, heal from those type of things. So I know it's a little late. This ain't how I normally do my videos. Normally I do my videos where you can see me. It's about 12:30 in the morning where I'm at right now. So, hey man, I gotta get this content out the way, and that's what I'm here for. It's what I do. So, as you can see, the title of this video is called What You Must Sacrifice for the Life That You Deserve. So, we all want a desire for a peaceful, fulfilling life. That's universal. But what if the path to it requires letting go of the things that you've been holding on to? This is an important video, like most of my other videos, all of my other videos. Something that I thought about today when I watched this interview earlier. And I just got to thinking, and I said, you know what? I gotta make a video about what is required to what is required in life, what sacrifices need to be made in life in order to get to where you're trying to go. And let's be real right here, most of y'all already know what sacrifices y'all need to do, whether that's stop eating a lot of sugar, stop eating as much, start exercising, stop slacking. A lot of the stuff is things that you need to stop doing. Stop drinking alcohol, stop using drugs, stop stealing, stop self-sabotaging. There's a lot of things that we do, and there's even things that we do subconsciously, meaning that we just do it because our brain is hardwired that way, but we may not even realize that it's toxic. I've talked to people before and they do this. I ain't gonna go all into detail with it because I got a time limit on this video, but let's get into the definition of sacrifice. So in this context, sacrifice isn't about giving up something good. It's about intentionally releasing a thought, pattern, or a person that is holding you back from your true potential. This relates most to the journey of healing from toxic relationships, where the most significant sacrifices are often the emotional attachments and unhealthy coping mechanisms we've developed over time. So it can relate to that most, but it can also relate to other things as well. You know what I'm saying? Like how I was mentioning earlier, sometimes you need to sacrifice bad habits and unhealthy attachments, coping mechanisms. Like there's all type of things that we need to let go of. So the purpose of this video is to challenge you to look inward and honestly assess what sacrifices you need to make to achieve true feeling and build a life that feels authentic and deserving. Right? So let's talk a little bit about my experience. I've learned from my own journey that true peace didn't come from fixing a toxic situation, but from sacrificing the familiar chaos I have become accustomed to. This is real. I had to let go of a version of myself and a 5-year relationship that was comfortable but damaging, which was a sacrifice I initially didn't want to make. I didn't want to make that sacrifice. I didn't want to leave a relationship that I thought I could have. I thought it could be fixed, and these type of toxic situations, these toxic relationships, it's too much work to try and fix it than it is to just cut it off and work on yourself and actually fix yourself and meet somebody that's healthy and stuff like that. That's my take on it. So I'm gonna give y'all some key points, unique information, and skills for a life deserved. Let's talk about the key points and unique information. So, sacrificing the victim mentality. True empowerment begins when you stop asking why me and start asking what now. Taking ownership of your journey is the first step and often the hardest sacrifice. That is a hard sacrifice because instead of asking and complaining, like it said, why me, it's more so about figuring out, okay, this is where I'm at. What is it that I need to do? And what is it that I need to stop doing to get to where I'm trying to go? The sacrifice of unhealthy relationships. You must be willing to let go of people. This can include family, friends, or partners who actively prevent your healing or contribute to your trauma, understanding that this is an act of self-love, not abandonment. This is one of the hardest things that right here, I'm going to be dead ass honest with you. A good amount of y'all are not going to be able to do this one right here. It's just too hard to let go of family, friends, or romantic partners. It's just too hard for a lot of people. Fortunately for me, my situation fell out. Like, it would have fell out on its own. I probably could have, worked it out, but that wouldn't have looked like me working it out. It would have looked like me still going through all type of stuff, so it wouldn't have been healthy. Letting go of the what ifs. Sacrifice the fantasy of what a relationship or your past could have been. Grieving the reality of what was instead of what you wished for is a critical step in moving forward. I had a lot of these moments, especially in my old relationship, after my old relationship, where I was just thinking like, damn, what if I did this? What if I did that? Just questioning. A lot of times we do that, and it's very unhealthy. Let's talk about skills. So self-compassion, I talk about that a lot. Learn to offer yourself the same grace and kindness you would a friend, especially when making difficult sacrifices. You need to give yourself that self-compassion. Establish firm boundaries. Develop the ability to say no to people and situations that do not align with your healing path without guilt. Don't be guilty to tell people no if it doesn't align with your morals, values, or beliefs. You don't have to be aggressive or nothing, but just you could politely decline. Emotional regulation. Practice techniques to manage the discomfort and anxiety that comes with change and the process of letting go. I got videos on emotional regulation, how to have emotional intelligence. You can see that on my YouTube. So let's conclude with a recap. Remember, the sacrifices we've discussed of old patterns, unhealthy ties, and victim mentality are not losses. They are investments in your future. You have the strength within you to make these difficult choices. The life you deserve is not a destination, but a direct result of the intentional sacrifices you are willing to make today. Start by making one small sacrifice and watch how it transforms your world. And that's what I encourage you to do. If it's too hard to make all the sacrifices, start with one. Start with one sacrifice today. And I want to know, what are you willing to sacrifice in order to get to where you're trying to get to in life, in order to be healthier, in order to be mentally healthy, physically healthy? What is it that you are willing to sacrifice? I want a list of things, if you could provide that in the comment section or wherever it is that you're watching this video on. And that's pretty much what this video was about. So this video is coming to an end. I hope everybody's practicing self-compassion, self-care, self-love, self-respect, taking care of yourselves, healthy, nutritious meals, all that type of stuff. Thank you for rocking with my content. Shoot a like, shoot a comment, subscribe to my YouTube, hit up my TikTok. You already know what time it is. I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.